the fuel subsidy debate. Joining us to talk about this morning is Mr. Paul Obanua. He is of the Mass Interest Project. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, the subsidy debate, and I'm quite sure they say loads and loads of people have been putting advertorial in the papers. One of such we did see was coming in from your Mass Interest Project. Why are you for the removal of subsidy?
We are in support of removal of subsidy because, first of all, our organization is about policy communication, policy advocacy. Why we're in support of subsidy removal is that it's become a total waste to national wealth. The masses that the subsidy is targeted at are not benefiting from it.
So if it is removed now,
yes,
would that make a difference to the masses?
Yeah, it will make a difference because it is crazy for our national budget, for the nation to be spending over 25% of its budget on subsidizing waste, which everybody has accepted right now. So that leaves the federal government and the country more money to fund productive sectors of the economy.
Sorry, which everybody has accepted that subsidy is waste?
Everybody has accepted
that subsidy is waste? I mean, if you say...
The debate now is no longer about, if you carry out a survey, the debate now is no longer about whether it should be removed or whether it should not be removed.
I beg to differ on that, and I'll tell you why. If the Minister for Petroleum tells us that petroleum, let's say PMS, petrol comes in at 145 naira, and the pump price, the official pump price, is 65 naira per litre, and Nigerians are still getting it to buy at the official pump price. How is that a waste? Basically,
this subsidy is only exists in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja.
We have been told that is not the case.
And few other cities. Trust me, if you go down to southeast of this country, go down to the north, you can never buy a litre of petrol for 65 naira.
Maybe if you can tell us where in the north, because we've been trying to carry out some kind of research to find out.
Because I have been in the southeast and I bought fuel for 65 naira.
Where in the southeast? In Olu, you can't buy fuel for 65 naira. In Okigwe, you can't buy fuel for 65 naira.
Isn't that why the government should come in?
In Kafanchan, you can't buy fuel for 65
naira. Yes. They have what they call the Petroleum Equalization Fund. You know about that, and
yes,
you know what it's all about. No, to pay the differentials, accrued to some of these marketers.
Yes.
So if those in Olu, for instance, you say are still selling above the pump price, now shouldn't the government be asking the Petroleum Equalization Fund why they've not been paying the differentials, or why they have been selling or collecting the differential and still sell above pump price?
The federal government tries to pay the difference. They do pay, but what is the staff strength of PEF, of Petroleum Equalization Fund? What is the staff strength of DPR to go around and ensure that these subsidies are enforced?
Does it? Does it make any sense that the inadequacies and the ineffectiveness of any individual or government agency or parastatal should now amount to the people suffering?
No, the truth is that we have tried to make this efficient, but we don't have the capacity to effectively implement this subsidy, which has amounted to outright waste. What we're saying is that there are other areas of the economy where the savings from the subsidy removal can be applied that will have more positive impact on the lives of the masses. For instance, education, health, transportation, agriculture. Things that border on employment.
Mr. Obanua, as we speak now, with all the resources that we have these areas of the economy, as you mentioned, been impacted in any way? Is it a question? There are two questions. Is it a question of implementation or mismanagement?
Implementation is part of it, but you can see that it is easier to implement policies in some certain productive areas of the economy. The fuel subsidy has failed.
What's the guarantee that if those monies that you're talking about are transferred to these areas, they will not be drained again?
Hold on. You have like the education tax fund for tertiary institutions. They have over 7-something billion naira there. and that fund has been effectively managed. So government has, this is not the first time government has put up institutions to manage intervention funds. You get what I'm saying? So they're not going to fail if they have to do it again. Say, okay, what you are saving is 1.2 or 1.3 trillion. We're going to save from removing subsidy. We set up an interventionist body to see to the effective utilization of these funds in different sectors of the economy.
Increasing the cost of governance again. No, we're talking about cutting.
It becomes cheaper. It becomes cheaper because look, we've done it in this country before. Like I just told you, the education tax fund. They have the money. They're saying to the universities, please give us your plan on how you want to utilize this money. Those ones that have been able to come up with a plan of what they want of needing some funds from the education tax fund, the monies were given to them, and they use them in building libraries and other facilities, infrastructure in our schools. So that can also be translated to effective implementation of infrastructure and facilities.
You talk about funds. You talk about funds, and if we look at what we see on the front page, it's a front page advertorial. It's courtesy Mass Interest Project. How do you get your funding? Are you being supported by the government? Is this an underground government group? Remember, Youth annexly asked for Abacha. Now people are thinking that your group is also being funded by the government.
This group is not funded by government.
How do you get funding?
We get funding from public-spirited individuals like me, yourself, and other people that are concerned.
It can't be from me because
from people me. Like I said, like you.
Okay, good. I'm wondering how you get people like me, or what I am like, that you get people who will support this cause. Yes. I'm not saying that I'm against fuel subsidy or for fuel subsidy. I'm just saying that if government wants to run a campaign, or if government needs to do something, I'm sure it knows how to go about doing it, convincing people like me and my colleagues here.
We don't stop. We have not stopped government from doing whatever they want to do, but it is also our right and our responsibility to promote what we think is right for the people and for the government and for the true leadership of this country. We cannot go and say the problem in this country is that we wait for government to fund us before we even lift our finger. We have it's a body that has been set up, and what is, like I said, our major responsibility or our core is actually to communicate good government policies, and also get feedback from the people back to the government.
Okay.
So what's the feedback? What's the feedback you get now with regards to the fuel subsidy removal?
The feedback we've gotten from our survey is that, look, okay, we know that this subsidy thing is a waste, but if you're going to remove subsidy, the savings you're going to get from this subsidy, where are you going to apply that savings? And how are we sure this saving you will deliver on this promise? If you say you're going to have, you are going to apply safety nets, they are going to be palliatives. Can you be specific about these palliatives? Can you be specific about this safety net? So that is the feedback we've gotten from the masses. We are not for government. We are not for. We are basically for the people, but most and generally, we are for the better governance of this country. Whatever works for this country, whatever makes us to be far away from the situation Greek is today, Portuguese is today, Spain is today. We pursue that because we identified a gap. The gap in this country is policy communication, marketing policies to the people. We've had fantastic policies drawn up, packaged in this country, but it's been an issue of selling these policies to the Nigerian masses, selling these policies to the people. So it's not enough to have a fantastic policy. You need to market it. You need to sell it to the people. So that is the gap we're